Oh, baby, it is mock draft time, man. One of my favorite videos to make with you guys. We are doing a post free agency mock draft, 7 rounds for the Broncos, and we are going to do trades. And I'm going to talk about, as it currently stands right now, as of March 20th, what is my best case scenario for the Denver Broncos. Let's see if the board falls the way that I want it, and we're going to talk through every single pick. And guys, tonight is the night. It is going down. I'll put the link down in the description below. I will be on Mic'd Up Broncos with my good friend Kodiak Broncos podcast. Be sure to check out his channel if you haven't. Link's also going to be down below. 7 p.m. with Mike Carmelini. Like I said, Mic'd Up Broncos. I'm super pumped about this great opportunity, man. I hope you guys join us. And we're going to have a good time. We're going to have some fun, talk trivia, talk ball. One of my favorite things to do, and I happen to be able to do it tonight with some really awesome people. So hope you guys will be tuning in. Subscribe to the channel if you're not already, if you love Denver sports, and if you love the NFL draft. It's going to go down. All right, so without further ado, let's pop this off. What you guys thinking? All right, so here's what the dealio is. All right, I'm going to go through what I believe is going to be the best case scenario for the Denver Broncos. This is obviously, in my opinion, as it stands right now. We're going to talk through the logic of all of it and exactly what it is that means. Now, I hope and pray that things end up ultimately working out for me. So let's go ahead and do 7 rounds, select the Broncos, enter the draft, and let's pop off. All right, so this is usually how it works. So let's select with all the positions of need, right, is where we're going to start. So we're going to go tight end. We got Colston Loveland, the only tight end in the first round that I would take after, obviously, that's available right now, after, obviously, Tyler Warren. Love all 3 of these wide receivers. I think that they're all studs. I would take any of them in the first round, specifically Matthew Golden. I think he's the best of all of them. All right, and then let's go and look just at some defensive linemen. Love it. Derek Harmon's still there. Walter Nolan, Alexander. All right, good. So because there's a lot of guys that are available right now that I really am big fans of, the ideal scenario for the Denver Broncos here, unless they're in love with the prospect, obviously, but in my opinion, is to look to see who wants to trade back. And now, unfortunately, in this position, Kansas City wants to trade. If I'm able to get 63 and 66, I'll do it. In exchange for 85. Damn. See, this is why I like it, because they throw in a wrench. So we're going to be giving up 11 spots here, but we're going to have 3 picks in the second round. Granted, the end of the second. But do I love this? We're going to be giving up our 85th pick. Let's see if I can get someone else out of them. Nah. I don't know. I don't know what the value chart's like, man. That's pretty crazy. That is pretty crazy. What if I did this and I did like a 3rd rounder next year? They'll take it. But that's just not realistic. I mean, I don't know. I want to be realistic as possible. No, Colts ain't got enough picks. And we ain't going to go back to 7. Damn, you know what? That sucks. I was hoping that we'd get a different scenario. Because this is my favorite mock draft and something that I think is legitimately possible. What I think might happen right here is the Buffalo Bills are going to be targeting a team somebody very specifically. There's a lot of really good players for them right now. They could be going after a lot of guys. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask for pick 30 in exchange for pick 56. And I'm going to force a trade. And the reason I'm going to force a trade is because I did this before and they accepted. I tried to get 62 as well, but it didn't work out. So let's go ahead and force a trade because that is from a point standpoint and like value, it's there. So I love the idea of trading back a few picks if you possibly can. Now, obviously, it takes 2 to tango, but we'll see. So Omarion Hampton was taken. Matthew Golden, unfortunately, was taken. Emeka Ibuka, Tyler Booker, Colston Loveland. My God, all these guys were taken off the board. So is it going to be a little bit weird for me? All right, so no receivers that I'm taking in this round. No tight ends I'm taking here as well. And there's not any running backs that I would take in the first round. I made a whole video as to why. That ain't going to change. The obvious pick for me and somebody that I love Walter Nolan and I love Derek Harmon. I think Derek Harmon, from what the Broncos run and the kind of player that they need, he makes a little bit more sense. And so that's exactly what I'm going to do. And I'm going to be super pumped up with that. Now, Bronco fans might not love it. And I get it because he's not going to come in and play a whole bunch. But Zach Allen's contract expires after this year. I think he's going to get extended. JFM, I don't think he will. John Franklin Myers is going to be probably gone next year. Injuries happen too. You want to have as much rotational guy, and Derek Harmon is an absolute menace. And I think getting him at 30 would be phenomenal value, and that's exactly what I would do here. All right, now we go through the rest of the draft here. Quinshon Judkins is gone. Caleb Johnson is gone. What running back is available? The obvious pick here is TreVeyon Henderson, and that's exactly what it is that I'm going to do. I love the value for him at 51. I think he fits the Broncos' offense and what Sean Payton wants to do perfectly. In fact, for the Denver Broncos, I think he's running back number 2 in this draft, and he might even be my number 2 running back because he is an elite pass blocker, pass protector. He really is, especially coming out of college. He's only going to get better. Unbelievably explosive, and he can catch the ball to the backfield. This is going to be your future running back, period, right? You might not love the frame, at 5'10", 208. I personally like that, the shorter, more stocky. I think he's awesome. Team leader. Easy choice for me. I'm taking TreVeyon Henderson here. I don't even have to. I'm going to look just for the sake of all this, of like some really good players. And I love me some Alfred Collins, but I'm worried. I'm worried that TreVeyon Henderson is going to be gone. And I'm going to take him here. All right. I'm pumped. I'm super fired up now. And now we get 2 picks, basically 5 picks apart in the second round. I really love this for the draft. I think this is where the meat and potatoes is. We got Derek Harmon. We got TreVeyon Henderson. Now I think there's a lot of really good players. Like, I love me some Alfred Collins, but we already got Derek Harmon, so it doesn't make sense. There's a lot of good players, but what we need to do is we need to look at tight end. And there's a lot of Elijah Arroyo hype, and I get it. But guys, Mason Taylor is just damn good, man. He's a sneaky athletic. He can do a lot of things. He's going to pair up super well with Evan Ingram. I love everything about the fit of Mason Taylor. I don't care what the ADP shows. None of that bothers me. I'm taking Mason Taylor here, and that's exactly what we're going to do. We're rolling. Now it is on to round 3, pick number 85. And now we're in a phenomenal position because we took a defensive lineman, we took a running back, we took a tight end. We have shored up our biggest holes. So now you can look at saying, you're going to take best player available. Are you going to try to get some depth tackles elsewhere, or really start to think maybe a little bit about the future of this football team, right? Do you want to get another weapon for Bo Nix? What I'm going to do is I'm going to look to see who wants to trade and what they want to trade. Jacksonville wants to trade 88 for 85, and what am I going to? I'm going to take 107 from you. Nope. 142. Go back 3 spots and pick up, what is that, a 5th rounder? You got a deal, Jacksonville. That's a pretty easy choice. They wanted Terrence Ferguson. DJ Giddens is off. Marcus and Bo is off. All right, so now I'm looking like I love this wide receiver class. I think that there's a lot of really good quality guys, specifically those top 2 guys, Savion Williams and Jalen Royals. Both are guys that I would love to have for the Denver Broncos. Sorry, my dog's going a little bit crazy over there. And so that's going to be probably where I'm leaning. I also really love the idea of getting a tackle, a really good tackle, somebody that's going to be developmental, doesn't necessarily have to play this year, but McGlinchey and or Bowles, their status is up in the air after this year. So it's about time we do it, but I think it's a little bit early, and I certainly do not want to pass over somebody like a Jalen Royals, who I really just think, man, he's a good playmaker. He's explosive out of the break. I mean, the ball's in his hand. He's making plays. He's a solid 6 foot 205. I think he comes in, competes to be the wide receiver 2 immediately, and he could ultimately be the wide receiver number 1 for us. So I love Jalen Royals here with my pick number 88. After trading back. So now I picked up, so we got a lot of picks left. We're cooking now. All right, so let's see what we got. We got Jalen Rivers, tackle for Miami. Really, really tall dude, man. I mean, tall, big, long guy. Pretty damn raw, if you ask me, in terms of the type of tackle prospect that he is. Somebody that is a very good pass protector, not necessarily the best when it comes to run blocking, based off of not just the PFF, but some things that I've read about him. But he would be an interesting player here. I think that we could also use a lot of depth at corner. Noel Williams is one of my favorite kind of mid-round cornerbacks, so he's probably where I'd be leaning now. I just, to be honest with you, don't know enough about Jalen Rivers. I've looked at a little bit like the Savaina guy from Arizona, but I think he's gone. I love Wyatt Milam from West Virginia, but he's gone. So we might just have to be a little bit patient there. And yeah, no Williams makes sense. Another place that I could look for right now from a positional standpoint that I like in this area is linebacker. And there's a couple linebackers that I like, but there's one in particular that I'm kind of targeting because I don't think it's as big of a need. Who's the best player available right now? I really do believe that it is Noah Williams. This guy's tall, man. Tall, 6'1", lengthy corner, very good in press, man. And what's nice is that, he's the kind of he's a corner that played a lot of man coverage in college, and he did really well in man. And even though a lot of NFL teams play a ton of zone, specifically the Denver Broncos, who play a whole bunch of zone as well, I like him. I think he fits a lot about what it is that we want to do. And, he's going to create really good competition. Riley Moss is really good this year, but it doesn't mean that we can't continue to add to that room, get some young guys, and fill up and just make them compete. Let these guys go out there and earn it. So Noah Williams from Cal is my pick that I would take here at, what was that, number 122. All right, so this is the additional pick that I picked up from the Jags for moving back 3 spots and basically missing out on nobody that I wanted. So I love that. I'm a big fan of it. I got to check out this Vernon Broughton dude because he's ranked highly from PFF, and I don't really know too much about him. But at 6'4", 305, he seems like he's a really intriguing player. So we're going to do that. All right, so let's recap the picks. Derek Harmon in round 1 with a trade back that yielded me 2 second-round picks that got me Trevion Henderson and Mason Taylor. That's just an unbelievable haul. I mean, this is incredible. This is exactly what I would love to see. Add Matthew Golden instead of Derek Harmon maybe, and we're cooking with gas. But this is great. And then Jalen Royal is just an absolute stud playmaker. In the 3rd round, we took cornerback Noah Williams out of Cal in the 4th, and now we are on the clock again. And Ajani Cornelius is one of the tackles that is available. Somebody that, hey man, he is a decent developmental player for a man gap scheme running back. Okay, I like this because now if you got a guy that you feel like's got a lot of high upside and a lot of ability to be a really good player at some point, we're in a premier position this year to be able to do that because we're not going to be asking Ajani Cornelius, for example, or any of these tackles in this particular part of the draft. We're not going to be asking them to come in and play right off the bat. I also like Emory Jones a lot too. So there's that. My next pick is not until 191, so I got to be able to really make a decision. Is there any playmakers that I absolutely love and go crazy for here? To be honest with you, not really. Not really. I like Ajani Cornelius. I like taking a tackle at this particular part of the draft. This is an extra pick for me. I think it's very useful. And whether it's him or Emory Jones, I think that going for those types of guys now, development, think about the future, is really, really smart. Let me just see if one more guy that I was looking for is here. He is not. All right. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take, in this case, we're going to take Ajani Cornelius. But let me look at one thing really quickly. We could be patient here. There's no rush. Logan Brown's a 6'6" guy, redshirt junior out of Kansas. I'm not going to lie, guys. I don't know too much about these. I do know Emory Jones. I remember looking into him, and per PFF, he's struggled a little bit. But raw. Oh, playing out of position at tackle. Those are things I don't necessarily like to hear. All right, Ajani Cornelius. Get ourselves a developmental tackle and really start thinking a lot about the future. Now, I love everything about the positional variety that I've chosen, right? We are adding a potential all-pro, a Pro Bowl level type of player in Derek Harmon. I think he's got that much talent on the defensive line. You can never have enough guys. And with JFM and Zach Allen's contract situations up in the air, he's somebody that's huge. Trevion Henderson, you needed to get yourself a stud running back, a guy that fits Sean Payton's scheme. He does that. One of my favorite players. Mason Taylor, all around, just playmaking tight end. Love it. Jalen Royal. So you've gotten 3 guys here that are absolute studs for your rookie quarterback, Bo Nix. You're making the defense even better with Derek Harmon, and you're really helping out the depth at corner, which is where we could use more depth with Noel Williams. And Ajani Cornelius is a great developmental tackle for the future. I ain't gonna lie, guys. This is working out really well. I hope it continues on this trajectory. We are on pick number 191. This dude, Vernon Broughton, I might just have to take him. Ain't nobody want to take him. And as of right now, this would be really good value. But we ain't going to do that just to do that. You know what I mean? So here's an area where you look and you say, do we get ourselves another running back? And I would say, hell yeah. And now who is it? Let me see. Thinking about a linebacker too. Want to see if he's still available. I hope he is. Yes. Teddy Buchanan. I'm going to take him now because there's a lot of other running backs. And because we're looking for a very specific type of running back, now that we drafted Travion Henderson, we don't want to miss out on this guy. Teddy Buchanan, man. Made a video on one of my sleepers yesterday. Watched a ton of film on this kid. This dude can absolutely fly. He could arguably be the best coverage linebacker in this draft, for real. He looked like a safety linebacker type of a hybrid. He's definitely undersized. I think he was like 6'2", 235 on the nose. But man, is he fun to watch. He flies around. He's been good at all the different places. Was at UC Davis for a few years. And then last year, for his senior year, went over to Cal. Very fun player, versatile, durable. And I think he pairs really well with a veteran player like Dre Greenlaw and like maybe even Alex Singleton. He can learn a lot from them. But Alex Singleton, one thing that we know, if he comes back, even if he comes back 100% healthy, like his old self, he can't cover. He's terrible at coverage. I don't care what nobody says. Don't come at me with that. He's terrible coverage. This guy can at least offset it. So whether he's taking his job or being used in specific packages, Teddy Buchanan, man, I love that. And I love this area for him in the 6th round. Something that makes a ton of sense. Oh, by the way, he flew at the combine. Absolutely flew. Ran a 4.6. His split was like faster than some of the running backs. Good player. Really, really good player. All right. Now we got to look at another running back because we got Travion Henderson. The only knock on him is, can he be a true workhorse? We don't know. Anybody that's been watching my videos lately, they know that LaQuint Allen is my boy. I love me some LaQuint Allen, man. I think he's phenomenal. I think he fits Sean Payton to a T. Unbelievably underrated. I would be absolutely floored and blown away if he was available in the 6th round. If it was real life, I would be like, I don't care who the running backs are, you got to take him because he's just that good of a player. But I don't think he's going to be available. I think they're a little bit cracked out when they have that. But there's 2 guys here that I'm really intrigued with. Very, very intrigued with, actually. And that is Taj Brooks and Ollie Gordon. These guys they project to be the bigger, more, powerful 3-down back types in comparison to what you get with Travion, who can really help you out in a lot of different areas. Another thing about Taj Brooks that you see is that, he's ridiculously big, like 5'10", 230. But I've read a lot of things saying that he's a really, really good pass protector. Let's see if they say anything on here. Not heavily used. Oh, extensive experience. Yeah, he is also a reliable and fundamentally sound pass protector. I think it was Todd McShay that said Taj Brooks might be the best, or somebody else. Anyways, Travion Henderson and Taj Brooks are the best pass protecting running backs in this draft. And Taj Brooks is somebody that could bring a unique element. He's not a burner. He ain't gonna, blow you away. To be kind of honest with you, he reminds me a little bit of Audric Estime. Hopefully minus the fumbles. Let's see if he had any fumbles. Oh, it doesn't show on here. But anyways, dude is tough as nails, strong. 17 touchdowns this year. Still had 28 catches, 1,500 yards for Texas Tech. Yeah. Give me Taj Brooks. Ollie Gordon I like too, but if I remember, he might be a little... Oh, no, he's not a little bit older. He could be good too. You know what I'm saying? I'm not going to lie. I'd be good with either one of these, Taj Brooks or Ollie Gordon, but because I know Taj Brooks is more seasoned when it comes to pass pro, he would probably make sense, and there's probably a higher chance that he would get taken by Sean Payton. So I'm going to go ahead, take another running back, and really shore up that position. And now with the final pick in the draft, there's a lot of different ways that you can go. One guy that has my eye is Ricky White. Not just because I think he's actually a really good receiver, but he's an elite special teams player. he's somebody that I think Darren Rizzi's going to love. He blocks punts. He lays people out. And he catches balls and makes plays too, man. I mean, the ratings are unbelievable on PFF. But, has good hands. Had 7 drops last year, but 78 catches, 124 targets. Not have a really good quarterback. 1,000 yards, 11 tutties. In 2023, he had 88 catches, 1,400 yards, and 8 touchdowns. He's just productive, very durable, does not miss a lot of games. And at 6'1", 190, he's probably not going to be available here, to be honest with you, in the 6th round, but I'm going to take him for the reason of special teams. But this is a pick in the draft where you look at guys that say, can you contribute and be a playmaker on offense or defense? Potentially, yes. Are you developmental? Sure. But are you going to be really good on special teams? And I think Ricky White's going to be really good on special teams, along with, a few other dudes. But, Jake Majors is really tempting here as well. No, we're going to go teams. We're going to prioritize special teams. Take Ricky White. Efton Chisholm being there breaks my heart, but we're going to go with Ricky. All right, guys. So I present to y'all Mark's ideal best case scenario draft for the Broncos. And I'm really happy that it actually worked out, because this would basically be the best case. But from a strategy standpoint, from, the fact that we moved back, accumulated some picks, moved back again in the middle rounds, got an extra 5th, or I guess we got a 5th. We don't have any 5ths this year. And we're really able to get guys with really good value. I love it. I'm a big fan of it. Let me know y'all's thoughts, man, on this draft class if we got this haul. Derek Harmon, Travion Henderson, Mason Taylor, Jalen Royals, Noah Williams, Ajani Cornelius, Teddy Buchanan, Taj Brooks, Ricky White. Leave a comment below, guys. Would you give me an A, a B, a C, a D, or an F, or an F minus, or an A plus? Let me know. But don't just put a letter grade. Let me know why. What would you have changed given the scenario that happened? I had so much fun doing this, y'all. I hope to see you guys tonight in a couple hours on Mic'd Up Broncos. And until next time, y'all take care of yourselves, man. And peace out, baby.